exponential power of community. It's the first thing I thought of when I heard the words Suncoast Remake Learning Days. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. But first of all, think about those words, Remake Learning Days. I don't think I had ever encountered that exact phrase in my life. So when I heard it, I got to thinking, what exactly are we talking about here? What all does this entail? What is needed to make this happen? And what kind of challenges would you face endeavoring to remake learning days? Well, the first thought that came to mind as I pondered these questions was that this idea clearly involves change. Changing how you approach a task, changing how you think about it, and even changing the construct of things. And change? Well, I think it's safe to say most people do not love change. But that's most people. And you are not most people. I truly believe there is no one better equipped to not only accept change, but to actually embrace it than educators. Educators and people invested in how we teach our young people and in making their learning experiences deeper and richer and more effective. And that is you. You are an integral part of a very exciting program that's exploring and celebrating the many learning opportunities in our community. Groups and individuals who may or may not historically have worked together are joining forces and collaborating and creating hands-on, relevant, and engaging educational experiences for young people of all ages. Oh, along with their families and caregivers. My, what brilliant programs and experiences are being created. You all are demonstrating what I call the exponential power of community. The ability to manifest some really creative, one-of-a-kind outcomes by bringing together a varied and sometimes disparate group of people with a shared goal. Schools, museums, arts organizations, faith-based groups, libraries, early childhood centers, businesses, media centers, and more, all coming together, combining resources and providing some amazing opportunities for participants of all ages to experience that learning can be really cool. Oh, here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. CINCO de MAYO Remake Learning Day is an event created by Family Services Center in partnership with Valerie's House, Boys and Girls Clubs of Charlotte County, Drug-Free Charlotte County, Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services, United Way of Charlotte County, and Mote Marine. 7 separate groups. During this fun and interactive event, parents and young people will celebrate Cinco de Mayo by learning about the culture through art and food, music, science, sign language, and ocean life. What? That is brilliant. And yes, any one of these groups could have put on an event that would have been very nice, but by combining 7 different entities with different areas of expertise and different networks and different skill sets, the outcome can be so much more multidimensional and inclusive and rewarding. Let's face it, you are creating something that has never been done here before, at least not in our area. Something of tremendous value to everyone involved. So I'd like to take a deeper look at what you did to make this festival happen and what you need to do moving forward to make certain that the momentum continues. First of all, when this opportunity presented itself, you said yes. You saw the possibilities of what could be created and how our young people and parents and caregivers would benefit, and you jumped in. In spite of any concerns you might have had, like, oh, do I have the time? Will I get enough help? I'm already overloaded. I need a 2-day nap. In spite of all that, you said yes. So the first step is to show up. Just say yes. And then it began to happen, right? More and more groups and individuals joined in and started connecting and collaborating and sharing ideas. Creativity and excitement shot sky high as you heard people saying things like, hey, why don't we combine your area of expertise with mine and, theirs and create something brand new? Or how about if we did this outside somewhere and added an environmental awareness to the program? Or, hey, I need this. What do you need? Oh, you need worms? Well, I've got worms. Yes, that's a real situation that happened. This is the exponential power of community. Okay, so now let's talk about how you continue to build upon the success of these 10 days. Well, first of all, you do it by consciously choosing to make it a priority and by developing some systems to help you stay in the process. The operative word here is consciously, because we're up against something I alluded to a moment ago. You and we are creatures of, yes, habit. We learned how to do something once a long time ago. We continued to do it over and over again. And then after a while, hey, we don't even have to think. It just happens automatically. Like driving. Have you ever driven from point A to point B, got all the way to point B and didn't know how you got there? Kind of scary, right? Changing the way we do things takes work. It takes questioning how and why we do things a certain way. It takes challenging our preconceived ideas. It takes a lot of effort and being willing to be really flexible and open-minded. It takes a willingness to let go of the way we've always done something so that it can be replaced with something new and more creative. And in terms of your work, here's the paradigm that most of us have been used to for a very long time. Your job description is this, and you do your work this way, with these tools in this toolbox, in this time frame, and then you get this outcome. You just have to keep your head down, focus on what's right in front of you, and you'll be fine. But now what you're being asked to do is to look up, rise up, allow yourself to float high above your silo, your room, your building, and even your city. Just float up there and look around at all the colorful, creative, multi-dimensional pieces of the tapestry below you. This is your toolbox. These are your potential resources. Your job is to connect with and build relationships with as many people as possible, and definitely to stay connected with the ones you've met throughout this project. Now, how do you do that? Two ideas come to mind for me. The first idea shines a light on what it takes for people to create and sustain mutually beneficial relationships. Stephen M.R. Covey wrote a book titled The Speed of Trust. In it, he contends that change happens at the speed of trust. In other words, the more trust you have between individuals and groups, the faster and more effectively change can occur. And one of the best ways to do this is through shared experiences. During a project in which we work together, we learn from and contribute to each other, an environment is created wherein trust can occur. We solve problems together, share ideas, explore possibilities. We get to know each other. I grow to admire and respect you. I learn to trust you. Listen, I don't trust you because you say I can. I trust you because we have a relationship and I am experiencing firsthand your trustworthiness. So that's our first step. We need to recognize the importance of maintaining trust in our relationship and do what is necessary to reinforce and strengthen it. And that takes me to my second idea. It's about the power of asking great questions. I was once told that I would only find the answers to questions I asked. I wouldn't get answers to questions I didn't ask. For example, if I asked you, what did you have for lunch? You probably won't tell me what movie you watched last night. Ask better quality, more specific questions and get better quality, more specific answers. And this is especially true for the questions we ask ourselves. If I'm constantly asking myself things like, oh, how will I ever get through this day? I am exhausted. Or why don't we ever get the funds we need? Or why is he acting like such an idiot? Well, I'll wager the quality of my answers will be things like, how can I get through this day? I can't. I'm going to fall asleep at my desk. Or why don't we get the funds? Because no one thinks our work is important. Or why is he such an idiot? He probably fell off his bike one too many times. Yeah, pretty crummy answers, right? Dead-end answers that would take you nowhere. Instead, why not consider questions like these? Okay, what am I doing that I have always done that is actually preventing me from seeing greater possibilities? And then, and here's the important part, stick with the question. No matter what answer comes up for you, just continue asking your brain to keep searching. Even if you get an answer like, nothing, you're perfect. No, just keep asking the question. Say things like, yes, I know, I'm pretty good, but what could I do differently that would get me better results? But I'm not even seeing it. What about that? How about asking questions like, what resources are available to me that I don't even know are available to me? Or who in our organization has expertise in this area, but up to this point I haven't made my need widely known? Or what other services could be combined with mine to create something new and exciting? And then there's something like, we've never been able to do an event like this before because we don't have the money, manpower, skills, etc. But what if we just weren't thinking broadly enough? Who else would be interested in this? Could we collaborate with them and share resources and expertise? These are the kinds of questions that can lead you to some pretty exciting answers. Again, remember, when you get that automatic answer of no one, nothing, it'll never work, we tried everything, run for your life. When you get those answers, just respond with, well, thank you for sharing. And what or who are we missing? Okay, now I'd like to take this idea of asking questions one step further. One step that I believe can help you build your network of supporters to some impressive levels. Consider this. In addition to thinking of what you need and what would help you reach your goals, start thinking about what other people might need and how you could possibly help them. This would include people within your circle of influence and those outside your circle of influence. For example, think of an issue someone you know is having, and then ask yourself, I know that her group is looking for, let's say, ways to get more publicity for their events. Okay, so who do I know who could help her with that? Or, I heard that his arts group needs more young people in their program. Who already has an audience of young people who might be interested in joining forces with them? As you start asking yourself these questions, you'll begin to see connections and possible collaborations that just would not have occurred to you before. And then, and here's where it really gets fun, take it one step further. Every day, make it a point to ask people you know questions like, hey, what are you up to? How can I help? Or, what is your greatest need right now in your organization? How about, if money was no object for you, what would you want to create? Oh, people love to talk about themselves, their work, and their mission in life. And when you ask these questions, you are telling them that they are important to you. You are interested in them. You want to help. Oh, by the way, a great way to keep their needs top of mind is to open the Notes app on your phone and create a note titled, Who Needs What? Then, when someone tells you what they want or need or are dreaming of, jot it down on that page. Make a note of who told you and their contact information. And then refer to this note page once or twice a week. And if you run across an idea for them, let them know. Forward them an article you found that relates to their mission. Make an introduction to someone they could benefit from knowing. Maybe just leave them a voicemail message reminding them that you're thinking about them and to please let you know if you can help. Caveat. It's important that you don't do this for what you can get from them at some future date. You do it because it's the right thing to do. It's a great thing to do, and it can build trust. People begin to see that you genuinely care about their success. Now, important, will doing this increase the odds that somewhere down the road these people will want to do something for you? Oh yeah, more than likely it will. But that is merely a happy side effect of your actions. It's not the reason for them. If you keep your intentions pure and honest and let go of expectations, I think you'll be surprised at how many phenomenal opportunities start to come your way. It's about maintaining an abundance mindset for you and everyone you know. It's about trusting in the process and embracing the idea that together we can do more than we ever dreamed possible. In closing, I invite you to, first of all, please celebrate how brilliant you are to have jumped on board with the 2022 Suncoast Remake Learning Days Festival. It's because of you and others just like you that the children and families in our community will get to experience a whole new, fun, interactive, and innovative way of learning. A way that could truly change the trajectory of their lives. Also, I encourage you to keep this momentum going. Continue to challenge what you believe is possible and what isn't. Keep asking lots of empowering questions every day and strengthen your relationships by building trust through as many shared experiences as possible. And by continually asking people, what are you up to? And how can I help? I'm Linda Larsen. Thank you so much for the difference you are making every single day and for being the living, breathing, joyful embodiment of the exponential power of community.